Strengths, how are you? Hope all of you are fine. Strength, I, Dr. Shefali Jain, Assistant Professor at Thankar Mahavir University. Today's trend we discuss about what is supply. What is supply in economics? In the previous video, we discussed about what is demand, elasticity of demand, the methods of measuring elasticity of demand. Now we discuss about because supply and demand are the two sides of a market. So today we discuss about what is supply. Supply in economics is the quantity of a particular product or service that suppliers offer to consumers at a specified price at a certain period of time. It means the definition of supply is that it is total amount of a good or service available on the market. It means supply is a fundamental economic concept that describes the total amount of a specific good or service that is available for consumer. Supply can relate to the amount available at a specific price or the amount available across a range of prices. This relates closely to the demand for a good or service at a specific period. Mostly, supply is a if you see supply, first of all, they say the law of supply state that an increase in the price of a good lead to an increase in its supply. It means when the prices increases, supplies is also increasing. So because due to the profit, when the prices is increases, the profit of the entrepreneurs is also increases, and he increased to increase the supply. The factor that can affect supply includes, among other, demand, production cost, price availability of resources, technological advantage, and government policies. These factors also affect the supply. Supply and demand are fundamentally linked. We discuss it about it in the further video. Now, supplies in economics. Supply is a fundamental economics concept. It represents the total amount of certain goods available to consumers. Supply of a product tends to increase if a price goes up. That prices increase because companies want to expand their production to meet the increasing demand. The concept of supply is closely related to the concept of demand, which is how much people want to particular product or service that supplier offer consumer at a particular price at a specific period in time. It means if you see that supply is the basic economic concept. Describe the total amount of a specific good provided to the market for consumption. And supply is heavily correlated to demand. And the two concepts are closely related to each other and create demand equilibrium, which defines the availability of goods in the market and the price they are sold on. If you see, we also explain it. It's a graphically depicts the supply curve map, the relationship between price and quantity being shown as an upward sloping line. Why upward sloping line? Because when the prices increase, supplies also increase. It has a positive relationship. We also see the this figure in further. Supply is determined by market demand and consumer preferences, cost, government policies. It's a affecting effective factors. Supply is often broken into short-term and long-term supply. Uh, so, to understanding the supply concept, it is says that supply is most used to refer to goods and services or labor. Mostly, one of the most important factors that affect supply is the goods price. Generally, if a goods price increases, so will the supply also increases. There is often and there is an inverse relationship between the price consumers and willing to pay and the price manufacturers or retailers are wanting to charge how much price they want to charge. Mostly supply is represented in microeconomics by number of mathematical formulas and supply is if understanding the concept of the supply, there are three key features of supply. As I also explained you, these include quantity supply, amount of a good or service that producer are willing and able to offer for sale at a specific prices. Means supply is connected to the producer and demand is connected to the consumer. Now, time frame, the period over which the supply is measured. In the short term, the supply may be fixed due to factors such as limited production capacity. In the long term, producer can adjust their production level, but in the short term, it is only possible with the help of variable factors, not a fixed factors. And if time is very short it is the producer is unable to increase the supply, but in the long term producer can adjust their production level. He can increase their supply according to the demand. Now price, the relationship between price and the price and the quantity supplied it inverse, meaning that as the price of good or services increases, the quantity supplied also increases. It is stated that as the price of a good or services increases, supplier will increase their supply so that they can increase their profit. So supply is increased due to the profit. When the prices increases, supply is also increases due to the profit. And if you know from where the supply concept is come, supply and demand is modern economy has been historically attributed to John Locke in the an uh, early time, as well as also definitely used by Adam Smith Van Low in his book An Inquiry into the Nature and Causes of Wealth of Nations, published in 1776. And uh, Adam Smith is also considered the father of economics and the father of the microeconomics. Um, in the graphical representation of the supply curve data was first used in 18s and the popularized seminal textbook Principle of Economics. It is a book which is by written by Alfred Marshall in 1890. Alfred Marshall is also considered the father of the economics because he gave the welfare definition of economics. Now, I think you have properly understood what is the meaning of supply and what is supply in economics also. Now, to discuss to better understand this, let's take a look at the supply curve. It is here. This is an upward sloping graph, which indicates that as price goes up, the amount supplied also increase. And I have also explained you that supply curve and price has positive relationship. When the price increases, supply also increases due to the profit, and the supplier is So then price increases, supplier also increases supply in the market. But in the short time, they are unable to increase the supply. But in the long time, they adjust the supply according to the demand. I think it's time you have well understood what is supply, what is the supply curve, what is the relation with the supply and price. Now we discuss about what is types of supply. How many types of the supply? First of all, short-term supply. Short-term supply explains that the ability to purchaser to buy goods in a period by available supplies. Buyers can't purchase beyond the supplied produced. Short-term supply, it means in the short time, how much supply is available, how much supply of a particular goods is available in the market. Now, long-term supply. Long-term supply explain the factors of time availability. Whenever the demand changes, meaning the availability of the time gives and suppliers can adjust the supply according to the demand. He can increase the supply because he has long time. Now, next, joint supply. Joint supply uh, explain the consequential supply. Joint supply, it means, for example, lamb production affected meat and wool supply in case which is related to the uh, other goods. In case farmers reduce farming, lambs, meat, and wool supply will go down too similarly and increase with the result in the opposite effects. So, in the short time, the supply, if you see the short term, I think you have to understand what is the short term supply. Short is a limited time, a short term when the producer can't increase the supply according to the demand. Long term, when the producer can increase the supply according to the time. Joint supply, which is consequently clear supply, which is related to the other goods of supply. So joint supply is an economic terms referring to a product or process that can yield two or more inputs. Common example occurs within the livestock industry. Cow can be utilized for milk, beef, and hide, and sheep can be utilized for meat, milk, product, wool, and sheep skin. If the supply of cow increases, so will the joint supply of the dairy and beef product. Joint supply is when a product or process can yield two or more output. Cattle is an example of joint supply, where cows supply multiple outputs such as milk, beef, and hide. Joint supply isn't necessarily related to the joint demand, while joint demand is when you need two goods because they work together to provide a benefit. So, where joint supply exists, that supply and demand for each product is linked to the other products. If the demand increases for wool and sheep farmers therefore raise more animals for wool, there will be a related increase in sheep meat production. This increased production will lead to greater meat supply and so in this case the joint supply is related mostly which goods is related one goods. Now next is market supply. Market supply is the total amount of an item producer are willing and able to sell at different prices over a given period of time. 1 month industry, a market supply is the horizontal summation of all each individual firm's supply curves. Entry of new firm into an industry will cause an outward shift or market supply. So, too would an industry-wide improvement in the technology available to the producer. Now, next composite supply. Composite supply is two or more goods or service that are only sold as a set and cannot be sold individually. Every composite supply has a principal supply, which is the main product or service that the buyers primarily wants. The rest of the supply is made up the supporting elements that add value to the principal supply. The composite side supply is taxed at the GST rate of the principal supply. So suppose example, a gift wrapped box of the chocolates. Here the chocolates are the principal supply, while the box gift wraps, message card and gift wrapping services offered by the salesperson are supporting elements that can't be supplied individually without the chocolates. This is the composite supply and its GST rate will be same at the rate for the chocolate. Now, student, hope you well understood what is the types of supply. Now, we discuss about the affecting factors of the supply. Factors affecting of the supply. Innumerable factors that and circumstances would affect a seller's willingness or ability to produce and sell our goods. Some of the more common factors are, first of all, goods own price, prices of related goods, conditions of production, expectation, price of input, number of suppliers, government policies, and regulations. Now we discuss about goods own price. First of all, goods own price. It is a main factor that influences the supply of a product to a greater unlike demand. There is a direct relationship between the price of a product and its supply. If the price of a product increases, then the supply of the product also increases. And change in supply with respect to the change in price terms as the variation in supply of a product. Mostly, if the price of a product is about to rise in future, the supply of the product would decrease in present market because of the profit expected by a seller in future. The fall in price of a product in future would increase the supply of product in present market. Now, second is prices of related goods. The prices of substitutes and complementary goods also affect the supply of a product. For example, if the price of wheat increases, then farmer would tend to grow more wheat than other. This would decrease the supply of rice in the market. Next, the condition of the production. The condition of the production is also depend the cost of production. The supply of a product would decrease with increase in the cost of production and vice versa. The supply of a product and cost of production are inversely related to each other. For example, a seller would supply less quantity of a product in the market when the cost of the production exceeds the market price of the product. In such a case, the seller would wait for the rise in price in future. Cost of production rises due to several factors such as loss of fertility of land, high rate of labor, and increase in the prices of raw material, transport cost, and tax rate. With it, it is also depend the condition of the production. It is also depend on the climate condition directly affect the supply of certain producer. For example, the supply of agriculture products increases when the monsoon comes on time. However, the supply of these products decrease at a time of drought and a time of COVID. You also see decrease at the time of drought. Some of the crops are climates specific and their growth purely depend on climate condition. For example, kharif crops are grown at the time of summer while rabi crops are produced well in the winter season. Next है the expectation. Expectation depend on the increase the price in the future, decrease the price in the future particular goods. The price and it is also depend on the technology that a better and advanced technology increases the production of a product and in the producer expected that this types of technology will be increased. Yeah, the demand of the goods will be increased in future. For example, the production of fertilizers and good quality seeds increases production of crops. This will further increase the supply of goods, grains, and with it, expectation to increase the supply also depend the transport condition. If the better transport facility increases the supply of production, transport is always as a because when the producer are not available to find the transport in time. So due to the poor transport facility, the prices of the product increases and the supply would um, not increase, it would be decrease. Mostly in India, sailors usually use road transport and poorly maintained road makers it difficult to reach the destination on time and product that are manufactured in one part of the city needs to be spread in the whole country through road transport. This may result in the damage of most of the products during the journey, while can cause heavy loss for the seller. So, the expectation of transport, technology, and the price expectation in future, the price of the particular goods will be increase and decrease, increase also affect the supply. Next day, price of inputs. Major determination of the supply. The major determination of the supply is input, such as raw material, equipments, and machinery required at a time of production are termed as factors. If the factors are available in just sufficient quantity and at a lower prices, then there would be increase in production. This would increase the supply of a product in the market. For example, availability of cheap labor and raw material. Nearby the manufacturing plants of an organization would help in the reducing the labor and transportation cost. So, if the price of inputs is low, supply will be increase. Next factor affecting is number of suppliers. When the prices of the product is increases, the more supplier is also increased to increase the supply due to the profit. Next, government policies and regulation. Government policies can also affect the supply of goods and services. For example, if the government imposes a tax on the particular goods or service, the cost of production increases, leading to a decrease in supply. Similarly, if the government provides subsidies to producer, the cost of production decreases, leading to an increase in supply. Strength. Today we discuss about in this video what is supply curve, types of supply, factor affecting of supply. Hope you make to understand it well. Thank you, Strand.